Alright, so now we're gonna play chicken with my truck. I have a massive hitch to smack into if I fuck up, so it should be exciting. I'm gonna put my seatbelt on. Alright, we're off Wi-Fi, right? I think that holding a phone is probably one of the more stupid ideas when playing chicken with your new Prius. However, that's why I have insurance, right? Oh, hello, Progressive. I was playing chicken with my truck with my do-it-yourself self-driving car. I'm sure it'll go over great. Alright, so first we're going to make sure that Op can actually see the truck. Cool. Coming to a stop. Alright, why are we slowly creeping? Ah, that was really smooth. Let's try that a few more times. We stopped and then started creeping forward again. Maybe my minimum can speed is indeed too low and doesn't transition into the stop state as reliably as I'd want. Okay, so we're stopped and then we're creeping forward very, very slowly. Very slowly. Oh, and then we went forward a little bit and slammed on the brakes. Just a little bit. Alright. I'll get a few more tries for science. Try to get going a little faster this time. Alright, here's Mr. Truck. We have it as a target. We are stopped and then creeping forward very, very slowly. And then brakes held. Let's release the brakes. Hit it again. That was a little bit more of a rough stop. Yep, that's pretty rough. Isn't as rough though. Cool. Go around again. And just for the lulz, let's see if Open Pilot Vision Radar can see the front of vehicles. So if you do end up in the opposing lane, will Open Pilot actually stop? Okay, so we are seeing that as a radar target. We'll back up a little bit. So it's 15 meters away. Some like it rough, yes sir. Okay, so we're slowly edging towards the front of the truck. Alright, so I'm gonna take a second. I'll take a second to modify my minimum can speed. We're gonna need to get close enough for Wi-Fi to the house. Because I think that I'm not reliably reporting 0.1 meters a second V-ego for it to transition into the stopping state. Yeah. Alright, Mr. Laptop. Put the car in park so I don't run into my garage. Alright, minimum can speed, we'll revert that back to 0.3 so we reliably go into the stopping logic. Push that commit. on op, cd data, open pilot, git pull, shit. Reboot. I just have to wait a moment for it to reboot. It is a 100 mile per hour to 0 braking test. I'm afraid we don't have enough runway. The 0 to 60 time on the Prius is a little low, especially on a loose surface. I think that open pilot would not fare well, 100 to a 0 with a stopped vehicle, because the maximum brake is 3 meters per second. It will throw a frontal collision warning, but automatic emergency braking doesn't seem to work in open pilot. So all those times the white interior is not bad. I have some chemical that I put on it. It's like 304 or something. It's used for boats. So you spray down the interior of a boat, and it's supposed to hang out in UV light and out in the weather and stuff. And it seems to do a really good job with repelling stains and making messes easy to clean up. So we're running again. We're gonna play some more chicken. Thankfully I have this gorgeous park right behind my house, so it's literally right down my driveway. Yeah, 304 Aerospace is great. Here's the park, here's my truck. All right, let's get a good start. We are at a, oh, you can hear the brakes creaking a little bit. If I shake around, the car moves a tiny bit. You can hear it. Oh, we're moving. Let's see if we stop, or we will hit the hitch. Oh, wait, yeah, we stopped. Okay, let's do it a few more times. I think I could replicate creep forward by, okay, so let's see. Okay, we're stopped. We'll likely start creeping forward again. So I'm gonna replicate, I'm gonna disengage op and immediately re-engage. This should replicate creep forward. Okay, so we have a tiny bit of, car stopping jerk, but I mean you can't get around it. I want to replicate the brakes creaking and slowly moving forward. I want to make sure I'm applying enough brake, and then I suppose we should try this on a hill if we can. Shit. Open pilot was not stopping. Yeah, that was cool. All right, we'll try that again. Nope. It's because I don't have any lane lines, and the path is estimated to go right. So it seems like if vision detects it, it uses visual radar now, and it will ignore the car's radar. It will totally ignore the car's radar. So, for example, if I cover the camera, and it will happily drive right into the truck. So that sucks. But it looks like that radar is only triggered for vehicles that appear to be in the estimated path, and we got a little bit of tentacle hentai action going on here. So we're gonna have to make sure that the vehicle's actually in our path. Yes, we know. Shut the fuck up. Okay. So it's in our path. It's actually kind of scary when you think about it. So your car's radar, I don't know if I agree with vision radar overriding the car's radar. So there's ghost braking and stuff, right? So you want the sensor fusion of the vision radar model, but you don't want to completely override the factory radar. So in situations where the camera defocuses, oh yeah, well, that makes sense. So maybe there's an easy way to do it. Okay, we are stopped. Shake back and forth a little bit. Try to get this bastard moving. Nope. Disengage, re-engage. Disengage, re-engage. Disengage, re-engage. All right, that's smooth. All right, we'll do one more time and then we'll try to go out on the road. It's actually really hard to find situations where people are creeping forward. I guess I can go through the McDonald's drive-thru. Cool. Alright, we'll go out on the public roads. We'll just abandon my truck. That'll be alright. Start chicken a little further back, Dorkmo. So I'll try that just for you, but what happens is that Open Pilot gets some tentacle hentai action going on, and it doesn't see the truck actually in the path, since we don't, gravel really doesn't have lane lines. So it will want to drive right into the truck. Like that. I had to slam on the brakes, so. All right, let's go out the wild yonder. You know what would be cool is if I had some sort of phone holder and I could hold the phone without me having to. Well, it's gonna be a minute before we get out into the city anyway. Oh, we have some vehicles coming. Nice. All right. Okay. Pilot's engaged. We have two leads. We have a stop sign. Foot over the brake just in case it fucks up. Okay, they're creeping forward. And we're stopping again. Creeping forward. Perfect. I'll let Mr. Truck go. Alright, so an issue that I just noticed is that Open Pilot is still releasing the brakes far too freaking quickly, and the car lurches forward. Now, that in itself isn't a huge issue, but when you're creeping forward, you don't want to lurch when you just want to move forward a little bit. So I guess what we could do, so the logic within the start, let me roll up my windows. The start-stop transition state looks at the lead vehicle's speed to you, and it starts moving again and will release brakes at 0.5 ego meters a second speed of the vehicle in front of you. So the problem with upping that value, let's say you're in a traffic jam and the vehicle in front of you is moving forward but at less than whatever you set it, it could, at very low speeds, why am I driving? Okay, there we go. It could creep forward into infinity and you'd never move, so that would be bad behavior. So anyway, it's gonna be a few until we get up here where the stoplights are. The initial braking felt smooth, and I didn't feel like I was going to roll into the vehicle in front of me, so that's good. Since we're kind of in flat-ass Indiana, I really don't have any elevation to test on. I'm pretty sure that if you were going downhill and needed to stop, it would likely not be enough braking. You know, theoretically, so OpenPilot doesn't have automatic emergency braking, so if you're in a situation where OpenPilot would need to brake more than 3 meters per second, it's just going to brake to that amount and then crash into the vehicle in front of you. If within the long control file, one could take a look at the target time to collision and allow a higher brake amount to have some sort of automatic emergency braking. But I think the reason why we don't see it in OpenPilot is that if you're on the interstate and you have a false positive, you don't want something that controls your car able to stand on the brake 100% and cause a collision behind you. So I suppose that puts us in a difficult position to where it's safer to only allow to cap the maximum braking amount, because a false positive would be really bad. we're getting into the city now. Okay, we are coming to a stop. We are going again. That was really smooth. Nice. I'm keeping Open Pilot engaged in this roundabout, and it's actually handling it rather well. All right, we have another stop. All right, we got some good traffic today. So it looks like we'll be able to replicate. We have stop traffic in the left lane. Okay, we came to a stop and now we're creeping forward a little bit. Now stopped. We're within 4 meters of the lead. I think Open Pilot tries to maintain at least 5 meters at very low speed. Could be wrong. It'd be really nice if they'd creep forward. There we go. Creeping, creeping. Oh, that was perfect. Oh shit. We didn't release the brakes fully and just creep forward. That was nice. Now we're pulling away. Okay. Sample size of 1. Let's try to hit some more stoplights. Said no one ever. I'm using comma pedal. I'm using comma pedal. Oh, we have another red light. Ethical dilemma, see your front and sacrifice the rear. Yeah. No, that's true. All right, we are braking, we are braking, we are braking. Six meters, fully stopped. Releasing the brakes a little bit, creeping forward, I imagine until 5 meters. All right, I'm gonna swap the camera back around. All right, we're moving again. So the stock gas interceptor values only allow 20% of throttle at 0 VEGO, and I increased that, I believe, to, what is it, 0.3 or 0.4, I'd have to check, but I feel like that modification allows initial go to be fast enough to not have people on your ass. So now we're gonna have to merge. Have to find a place to turn around. Last night I tried a very low initial brake release, and then I jacked up pedal to allow 50% throttle from stop. So what was happening is that Open Pilot was holding down the brake and applying 50% of the throttle, and it was slowly releasing the brake, so I was basically doing a standing stop. And then I slingshot forward, which was hilarious. So we have another red light here. I'm not going to screw with my phone for this one. And it just turned green, so we'll probably get some good creep action. We'll stop, release, go. Okay. Yeah, this feels good. This feels usable. In respects to Arnie's findings about longitudinal control, you're the expert on creep action for sure. In respects to Arnie's findings, my commentary on PID controlled long, which is anything above 0.3 VEGO, the only real comment I have is that when I set, let's say I'm going 30 miles an hour and I set a 70 mile per hour speed limit, and the car goes faster and faster, and it will end up overshooting, and I'll be traveling about 3 to 4 miles an hour over my max set speed, and then it will slowly ramp back down to the actual speed I set. So a mile per hour or two is not that big of a deal, but could technically still be improved. The other comment I have about OpenPilot's longitudinal, so we're going 45 miles an hour, and the lead distance is about 45 to 47 meters, and I feel like that this is a safe follow. Oh, might have to turn my camera around. I feel like this is a safe follow, but it's really long. So like when you're on the interstate and stuff, this is not new news whatsoever. People end up cutting in front of you and stuff because you're not going fast enough. So that's the another stop, hard braking, but there's a go around. We'll get up here and turn around. Saw some same observation regarding which I reconnected the DSU. Yeah, right. I like stock longitudinal control. However, with this big trip coming up to Florida, I'm sure there's going to be some traffic jams. I want OpenPilot to be able to handle longitudinal control and stop and go traffic. All right, we got another red light. We got to cut in. We're stopped and we're creeping. Perfect. This is working excellent. And turn back around. It's probably the worst place ever to turn around at. Which way did we turn in here? Okay, I need to go right, then straight. I think as far as overshoot goes, it just comes down to longitudinal PID tuning. The problem with longitudinal PID tuning is that, unlike steering, it's hard to iterate quickly, especially with braking, because there's narrow situations where you get a good test of longitudinal control in. I think I went the wrong way. Alright, fire up the navigation here.
The route guidance will start now. In 4/10 of a mile, traffic circle ahead, and then the second exit onto East County Road 600 South.
Plus side, we have a lot of traffic that's stopping and going.
The second exit ahead.
Alright, we have a traffic circle.
In half of a mile, traffic circle ahead, and then the third exit onto Whitestown Road.
Cool. That's been good. So today's my last day before I head out to Key West. We got about 2,600 miles total ahead of us, there and back. And I think I got it to the point to where I'm going to be happy with performance. I went up to Family Farm, which is about an hour away. And didn't have to drive for, I'd say, a good 75-80% of it. The key there was to use INDI with Prius and
Proceed
ZSS.
about 1 mile to South County Road 875 East.
Yeah, Zoro steering sensor. Yeah, this. Oh man. On my to-do list, the new firmware for the Arduino reports the steering rate, but the issue there is that the stock steering rate is so fucking terrible that I'm having a hard time finding the factor, the scale for it.
In half of a mile,
So if anyone wants to take a look at,
South County Road 875 East.
if anyone wants to take a look at Cabana data and find a good factor for that, it would be greatly appreciated. ZSS, it's damn near impossible to figure out the proper rate. Why is that INDI uses rate in the common filter to help estimate where the steering angle is, so it could theoretically improve INDI performance with a proper rate factor calculation. They're building another subdivision over here. Man, it's everywhere. Fastest growing area in Indiana right now.
Proceed about 2 miles to East County Road 300 South.
So we're just northwest of Indianapolis, and it used to just be all farms everywhere, and now it's turning into the urban sprawl. Land values are going up for sure, but yeah. So the cool thing about my lane width hack, my lane width moving average, is that it allows me limited driving on lane markings at all.